Good morning. How are you today? I finally figured out how to make my what is this? My resolution better. My camera's not blurry anymore. I actually have an HD camera in this room. So, I am so excited that it is day 10 and so excited that I feel so refreshed from the vacation that I just got back from. We were in Sacramento with our family this weekend, and if any of you know the feeling of being refreshed and having a break, like a true break from technology and responsibility, just everything. You're not in this world. You're in a complete fairyland, right? That's what it felt like. Our friends live. Don't eat those. Our friends live in Cool, and it is a beautiful, beautiful in the middle of the forest house that they have built for themselves. And so we were staying with them, and it was relaxing and it was fun, and they had a pool, and we were living it up. I feel tanner. It was great. But now we're back. We're back to the regular world. We got back last night, so we're a little tired still, but we're here for day 10, and we're excited to get back into real life. That, I think, is the most important piece of your job, your life, your career, whatever life you're building for yourself. Make sure when you escape from it and you have that break, you have that reality, you're excited to go back. If you don't have that excitement, that passion for, it doesn't have to be like, oh, I love my job so much, but like, okay, I'm ready to, I want to get back into this. It's not what's that called? Negative. It's not looming, right? It's not bringing you down every step of the way. It's fun. It's exciting. It's enjoyable for you. That's important. That's really important. Ooh, okay. Let's jump into day 10 and then we'll go into more career talk because I've been giving a lot of advice to friends about careers, when they should switch jobs, should they be doing now, how much money do I need to make really. We'll get into all of that. But today we're embracing common humanity. According to self-compassion experts, feeling isolated and feeling a sense of common humanity are opposing forces. When we feel isolated, we feel like we're the only ones who make mistakes. This feeling can lead us to magnify the shame, guilt, or inadequacy. Inadequacy? You know what I'm trying to say. See, I mess up too. Our daily intention. Is there something you've done recently that made you feel a sense of shame, guilt, or inadequacy? Are there times in your life when you felt you were the only one who was messed up? Reflect on how viewing things through the lens of a common humanity might change how you feel about yourself. I was actually thinking about something similar to this the other day when I was driving. And I turn into another person when I am driving a lot of the times. I am like very aggressive is the wrong word because I have a mix of aggressive and defensive driving. But there are a lot of people on the road, especially in Southern California, that are incredibly selfish when they drive. And it infuriates me. It infuriates me. People don't know how to do a zipper when they merge. People are, tailgating you because they want you to go faster. All of those things just make me so, so mad. But no one's perfect when they drive, right? Like I sometimes look the wrong way or don't look long enough before I try to get over. I do some of the things that I'm mad at other people for. And I have to like remind myself, okay, other people are going through things too. Maybe they're distracted. Maybe things are going on. But turning incorrectly on a four-way stop, or it wasn't my turn, and I go, those are the things where I have to remind myself and other people, like, giving grace to other people when they mess up, and then giving grace to myself when I mess up. Those both are important. What's another recent one? I'm trying to think of something that happened at work, because I feel like I'm always messing something up at work. And it's something I used to beat myself up for a lot, especially when I worked in places where they demanded perfection out of writing or, um, reading comprehension is the wrong word, like spelling or formatting. And I'm not a professionally trained writer. I really never could write essays in school because I never understood all of the grammatical rules of the English language. It's something that was very hard for me to comprehend. And I think it is part of, ADHD. When you read, it's very hard to focus on how you're reading. You kind of like just take specific words. Like, I don't read full sentences. I fill in the context of the sentence based on scanning. And so that used to always be a very hard thing for me to do. I'd have to read an email 5, 6, 7 times before I could actually feel good about sending it. And then, even then, there would be grammatical errors, or, something would be wrong because I cannot physically see. I'm not a proofreader. I know that's not my skill. But I would have jobs that would make me feel like I was, dumb or a terrible person because I can't just like do this one easy thing. And it wasn't the people in the job. They were very patient. They would also get very irritated with it, though, which then made me double down on my feelings of guilt and shame because they were all able to do it. So why wasn't I able to do it? But then I learned that because of my ADHD and everything, that's why I was having a hard time with it. And tools like Grammarly came in very, very handy. And now ChatGPT comes in super handy because I can take whatever sentence or paragraph I'm writing and I can put it there and say, can you check this? Can you make sure I'm doing this? Is there a better way to say this? So it became that double check system for myself. So I wasn't relying on other people to catch all the little things that I would miss. But again, so many people struggle with that. And I'm sure there's, little things in your job that make you feel, like that little voice in the back of your head goes, you're not good enough to do this. Why do you think that you deserve to make this much money or hold this title, or you got, a raise or a promotion recently? You're not good enough for that. And this is something that I feel like a lot of people go through. And sometimes it keeps us in jobs because we don't think we can do any better than what we already have. I felt that before. I still feel that sometimes. I feel that voice telling me, well, you're never going to be able to go get another job doing this. You got lucky with this one, so you better stay here for as long as you can. And that's not true, because the skill sets that people are looking for when they're hiring you, especially once you get to the realm of like corporate, like big corporate office job, they're looking for how you approach the job, not how you do the technical skills. You can learn anything on the job. You can learn a new program, you can learn a new process, you can learn a new system. There's always training at a new job. But what is harder to learn is getting rid of your ego in the job, getting rid of being a person that creates conflict with other people, being judgmental, or being, so rigid that you're not willing to try something new. And a lot of the times, even if you don't have the background, the experience, the know-how, and another candidate does, if you have a high EQ over them, the likelihood of you getting that job is high. Because again, the actual, like when you're hiring for a specific role, it does not matter if you don't know how to do it. Besides, like, okay, being an engineer, being a doctor, there are things, right? You have to have some qualifications sometimes. But for the most part, as long as you've got the basic understanding of how the things work and you've got a good head on your shoulders where you're approaching the situation in a compassionate, kind, emotionally intelligent way, that's what's going to get you the job. I have a friend right now who, we've talked about this before, I believe. They are afraid to give up the job that they have, even though it's not stable and it's a lot of wear and tear on them, because they like aspects of it and they don't think that they're going to get those same aspects. They like the independence of being a Uber driver versus having to go in and work at a job, which I totally understand. But there are so many jobs where you can set your own hours. That's kind of my job. I work a flexible job schedule. There are different ways to approach what you're looking for in a job. And what is the fear, really? Because you can tell yourself one thing, which validates the fear. But what is really underlying everything on the surface? Because the first thing you tell yourself that makes it go away, right? That's not what you actually are afraid of. Well, okay, I was sitting out on the back porch looking at the trees. And I was thinking about how many seeds a tree will make in its lifetime. Thousands of seeds. But how many of those seeds actually turn into trees? Much, much smaller, much less. And it was very interesting to me to kind of have that comparison of our thoughts, our actions. Those are our seeds. Those are the seeds that we sow out into the world. Not every single one of them becomes another tree. Not every single one of them even makes it to the dirt. Some of them are bad seeds. And I think that visual really stuck with me because it dives into that meaning and purpose that we think we have to have for everything we do. And it doesn't need to, not all of our ideas have to be good ideas. Not all of our hobbies need to be profitable, right? Not everything we do has to be right. Trees make deformed seeds. Trees make, too many seeds. The wind blows them in the wrong direction sometimes. But the key is, the only way we have more trees is because the trees keep making seeds. Let me know if that resonates with you. But that led me into my thoughts of how to be creative. Because creativity is not something that someone is born with. Creativity is not, any skills that an artist, an author, a musician has. Those are all learned skills. And the skill to be creative and think creatively is something you do have to learn. Some people are better at it naturally, but it is still something you have to practice and sit with and learn how you are able to be creative. And it starts with the most terrible, silly ideas in the entire world, right? For every good idea that I have, right? For every viral video that I have, because everyone loved it, it was super funny or it was informative, right? I have probably, 50 meh ones, but I keep doing it. I keep putting ideas out there. I keep iterating off of that creative process. And what I've learned for myself is that when I give myself that breathing room, that's when I can be more creative. And it's important when you're looking to be creative. It's not about, oh, I want to write a book or I enjoy painting kind of creativity. Creativity can help you in so many other aspects. Just how you approach things. You're looking at the layout of your kitchen. How could it be more functional? You know, how could I organize my fridge better or my pots and pans? All of those things require creativity to do. And I think we get caught up so much in the day to day of life or drowning out, right? Zoning out in front of the TV after our day's long work because we're so exhausted, we just need to numb everything. But those numbing are creative muscles to be able to do things, to approach a situation a different way, to think about how to problem solve something better. Planning a vacation, planning anything that we're doing, those require creativity. And I've noticed a big change since I've started meditating, for one, because it's allowing myself to detach from everything that's going on. Meditation is creating a space for yourself that nothing else is going on. You're not thinking about what you want for the future. You're not thinking about what happened before, what else you have to do today. It is just, I'm giving myself 5 minutes to relax. And it truly is. It is a relaxing break from the day. And you would be amazed how short of time you actually need to feel rested. This is something I learned with my trainer recently. If you're taking a rest period in the middle of a workout or in the middle of your workday, you don't need an hour, 2 hours. And that deters us a lot of the time from taking breaks because we think we need so much time for a break. But really, you can get and feel rested after a 5-minute meditation. Once you get up the skill of practicing and knowing how to meditate and quickly getting into that restful state, you can feel refreshed and rested after 5 minutes. And when you're working out, when you're doing a movement, you don't have to rest for 20 minutes. But sometimes if you need a rest period longer than 30 seconds or a minute after your movement, right? Because a lot of workouts, they're like, okay, do this for a minute and rest for 30 seconds, then do another rep and rest for 30 seconds. If your body needs more rest, it's going to take more rest. Like our bodies, they know how to get what they need. And when you're pushing it past its limit, they're just going to draw from other sources. But laying there on the ground for 2 minutes in the middle of a workout, right? I do this often because my body does not like moving. That will do more for you than pushing your body through the workout more. And I think that was something very powerful to learn and something that I continue to do now in my workday. And those little periods of rest where it's okay if this email doesn't get responded to right now. I can go do the thing I need to do and come back with a fresh mind. I can approach the situation different. And that's helped me not only be a better problem solver at work, but be able to do more at work because I'm not forcing myself to do all the time. I want to know if anybody else tries that. So if you've tried that, let me know. I would love to hear what what your relationship with creativity is right now. Do you... Oh, I clicked something. I didn't mean to click something. Oops. Do you feel like you are a creative person? Do you feel like you haven't flexed that creativity muscle a lot? Do you want more help learning how to be more creative? I'm deciding on doing a video series about emotional intelligence, about how to be more emotionally intelligent, how to learn how to be creative. Let me know if that's something that you would like. I kind of want to do a little, like, what's it called? Like a progression, like a kind of like what we're doing here, but just about emotional intelligence, and break it up into like a little mini series so that you can go through and, you know, take a class on emotional intelligence. And I can reference all of the books I've read. I can reference all the journaling that I've done. It'll be great. Oh, I closed my chat again. There it is. There it is. I really love waking up with you like this. I feel like it's helped me get out of bed faster. I feel like I've started my days with a little more intention, because usually it's getting on my phone first thing in the morning. I check my emails, I check my messages, I check my TikTok notifications, my YouTube notifications. And that's not healthy for us to dive into all the things we have to do for the day first thing when we wake up. It's important to have that time and space for yourself in the morning before you give yourself to work, before you give yourself to everything else that wants your attention. What happens in your home with your significant other, with your kids, with your animals? All of those things are more important than work. And I know work is usually our thing that we're most concerned about. And that is what we prioritize before anything else in our life, because it's what gives us our livelihood. But work is not going to be there forever. This is now me talking to my boyfriend. Your job is not your top priority in life. Your job is your second and third priority. Your family comes first. Your mental health comes first, right? All those things come before your job. And if you're not giving yourself as much time and energy that you're putting into your job, what's going to happen when you retire? What's going to happen when something important comes up and you're putting your job over yourself, right? A lot of us put our job over our own health and wellness. You know, we push ourselves past, we sit in chairs all day long. We will not take vacations because we don't want to miss work, right? We put our jobs over ourselves a lot of the time, and it's so ingrained in us, right? Like that's just a second nature now. It's kind of expected at a lot of places. And it's about being able to set healthy boundaries with work. That's important. Your job also has to be a place that allows you to set healthy boundaries with work. So that's a very difficult one if you don't have a job or a workplace that, you know, is taking care of its employees. First thing you do when you wake up is have your coffee. Me too. Good morning, Betsy. Second thing, outside, then a few other things, and I'm awake and ready to go with whatever you decide to tackle. I love that. I love that you go outside first thing in the morning, because the crisp, brisk air first thing in the morning, 7 o'clock in the morning, this is why I set these at 7 a.m., because 7 o'clock in the morning is my favorite time to get up and be outside. Whether it's in the winter or the summer, the sun is out where I'm at, and it's still nice and calm in the morning. It's right before everybody is hustling and bustling to get out the door. The birds are still awake outside. The morning air is crisp. You can hear a little bit of the traffic on the freeway, but not a lot. You know, it's just that peaceful calm before the storm in the morning. And I love that. I love the beauty behind that. That is my favorite time in the morning. Maybe if we get my Wi-Fi extender set up, we can start having these outside on my hammock. That would be a good idea. That'd be fun. We can have our morning chats outside. I do love our morning chats. Do you love them too? don't know if you can see him right here. He's the little black ball of fluff right here. He is very happy we are home. Right, buddy? He could care less, actually. He's just happy that someone's consistently here to give him food again. I did have my friend staying at the house watching Daisy and Dozer, but they don't like strangers. Well, Daisy doesn't care. Dozer does not like strangers as much as he likes me. And Grant is a second to me, but the preference is still me. So he's accepting that he's still pouting. He's mad. He's mad that we're home. But thank you for waking up with me. I'm excited. We are cruising through this thing. We are on day 11. We've almost been doing this for 3 months. And I'm excited to see what else we get to in this. I personally have not ever made it past the common humanities section of this journal. So I really like that this is kind of forcing me to stay accountable in getting through this and thinking about all of this with you. So I'm excited for where we're going to go next. And if you have any ideas for what you want to talk about, let me know.